Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning for another news update for Saturday, November 1, 2025. And I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, pregnant teen among 19 dead after Hurricane Melissa. Tragedy struck in central Westmoreland as Hurricane Melissa claimed the life of 18-year-old Monique Coke, who was 8 months pregnant when disaster hit. Reports are that Coke, her mother, and a younger brother were in their 2-bedroom wooden house in Waterworks Petersfield when it collapsed during the passage of the hurricane. An official at the Savannah Lamar Public General Hospital told the news that the woman was pronounced dead on arrival at the hospital on Wednesday. On Thursday, the government reported that the death toll from the storm rose to 19. Businessman charged with rape of 11-year-old girl. A 29-year-old businessman from St. Catherine who allegedly sexually assaulted an 11-year-old girl twice has been charged. The accused is to answer to 2 counts of rape and sexual touching. It is alleged that during the month of January of this year, the man went to the child's home twice, where he reportedly committed the assault. The child related her ordeal to an adult who contacted the Child Protection and the Family Services Agency. The entity reported the crime to the police, and an investigation was launched into the matter, which resulted in the accused arrested and subsequently charged by the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse. The accused is scheduled to appear in the St. Catherine Parish Court as soon as a date is finalized. Elderly woman drowns in her home as Hurricane Melissa devastates Adelphi, St. James. A pile of gloom hung over the quieter community of Marley Lane in Adelphi, St. James on Wednesday after 86-year-old Esmeralda Taylor lost her life when raging floodwaters from Hurricane Melissa engulfed her home late Monday night. Taylor, who lived with her 88-year-old husband, Horace Taylor, was unable to escape as the 3-bedroom house they shared was battered by ferocious winds that tore off its roof and sent torrents of water rushing inside through broken doors. Their caregiver, Nigel Wilson, who had been with the couple during the storm, fought desperately to save them, but was overwhelmed by the sudden rise of floodwaters. On the night of the storm, the water came upon us rapidly, and all I could think of is just to try to save us. But God was so good to us that He gave us a second chance, Wilson said, still visibly shaken. What they did there was a piece of furniture, so I put the wife on it to stand and assist the husband, he explained. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, Wilson said the water level rose so high it almost covered him. I prayed and I was able to keep the husband afloat until help arrived the following day, he recalled, his voice breaking. At one point during the interview, Wilson broke down in tears, whispering, "Me tried, but me couldn't save the 2 of them and myself." Horace Taylor, frail but thankful to be alive, sat quietly in a neighbor's back room on Wednesday as he struggled to come to terms with his wife's death. "If it wasn't for him, I would die too," he said, pointing to Wilson. He praised the caregiver's bravery. "He was attending to my wife, and he turned around and he saw me, and he grabbed me and put me back up and tell me to hold on. And me hold on, and him blowing on my nostril 3 times, and me survived," Taylor told the news. He said he and his wife held on through the long, terrifying night until they were rescued on Wednesday. According to him, during the ordeal, his wife was singing, but at one stage, she said she wanted to sleep. I hear him tell her to stay up. "No, you can't sleep because you're in the water," and me hear when she said the Lord's Prayer. Moments later, Taylor said he heard sounds of his wife choking. Wilson said to me that she was gone. "Me said, Lord Jesus Christ, she drowned?" He recounted, tears filling his eyes. Up to 5 p.m. Wednesday, Esmeralda's body was still lying in the flooded house as rescue workers battled the fallen trees and downed the utility poles to reach her. The tragedy has sent shockwaves through the Adelphi community, where residents described the Taylors as humble church-going people who had lived together for more than 6 decades. One neighbor summed up the mood of the community. "It's rough. Miss Esmeralda lived long, but for drown in our own house, that hurt everybody. NMIA waives landing and parking fees for relief flights. PAC Kingston Airport Limited, the operator of the Norman Manley International Airport, has announced that it is waiving all landing and parking fees for non-commercial relief flights bringing cargo and medical personnel into the airport. The waiver period began on Tuesday and will remain in effect for the duration of relief and recovery operations. Relief supplies eligible for the fee waiver include food items, drinking water, medical equipment and pharmaceuticals, shelter materials, hygiene products, fuel for emergency operations, and other items designated by the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management and relevant government agencies. We are in crisis and there is an urgent need to get critical aid and supplies to our fellow Jamaicans, said Sitara English Byfield, Chief Executive Officer of PACOL. NMIA is fully operational, having started accepting relief flights on Wednesday and the commercial flights on Thursday. English Byfield noted that the airport is capable of handling the additional volume of flights and the passengers and highlighted that the various airport partners have adjusted their resources to have adequate staffing. She, however, implored the persons to check with their respective airlines for updated flight schedules and to have a confirmed booking before traveling to the airport. We understand the anxiety, and as the airlines confirm their flights, we are helping to alert passengers by sharing the updates on our social media platforms. We want to reduce the congestion in the check-in hall, which will help to speed up processing times. All the airlines have various channels through which passengers may adjust their reservations and get direct support, and so we are encouraging passengers to use those channels where possible, English Byfield urged. Golden urges quick and fair post-Melissa relief. Opposition leader Mark Golding has stated that it is vital that relief efforts reach every community quickly and fairly. He made the comments following a tour of Westmoreland on Friday to assess the impact of Hurricane Melissa there. Golding said he met with residents whose homes and livelihoods were affected, listened to their concerns, and discussed the urgent recovery needs with the members of parliament and residents. He commended first responders and the volunteers who continue to assist those displaced or in distress, emphasizing that national recovery must be a unified, transparent, and people-centered effort. The level of devastation across Westmoreland is heartbreaking, Golding said. It is vital that relief efforts reach every community quickly and fairly. The opposition stands ready to work with all partners to ensure Jamaicans get the help they desperately need. Golding was joined upon landing in Westmoreland by MP for Westmoreland Western Ian Hales and the MP for Westmoreland East Dr. Dayton Campbell. The team also visited several of the hardest hit communities, including Darlington and White House in East Westmoreland, where the hurricane first made landfall, as well as Friendship Division and the Grange Hill Division in West Westmoreland. Jamaican authorities brace for Hurricane Melissa death toll to rise. Jamaican authorities are bracing for an increase in the death toll in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, which landed in the island on Tuesday, leaving a trail of destruction, particularly in the western end of the country. The official count so far is that 19 people have been killed. But speaking Friday at a press briefing at the Jamaica House, Information Minister Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon disclosed that the figure will rise. Last night, I would have reported that there were 19 confirmed deaths, 19 Jamaicans who lost their lives. And this morning, I have confirmed that number has not changed. But we have reports that are quite credible of the potential of 4 bodies being in Westmoreland that needed to be retrieved and 1 in St. Elizabeth. We do not count the numbers until the Jamaica Constabulary Force has been able to go to the site and retrieve the body and confirm it. So we're still at 19 confirmed, but we do expect that number will change today, she said. Member of Parliament for St. James West Central, Marlene Malahoo Fort, echoed the similar sentiments, noting that there are still uncollected bodies in St. James and Westmoreland. Speaking with the news on Friday, the MP said the situation in these parishes is dire. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.